We usually talk about all the problematic things that celebrities are getting themselves into, but today on the channel we're going to be focusing on the positivity. But where are my manners? Joining me today from our newest channel called Bumblebee is Rachel Fisher. Why don't you tell these fine folks what Bumblebee is though?
I sure can though. It's a really weird time. Bumblebee is the next biggest top 10 channel for lovers of the strange, mysterious, and there's a lot of everything else. We worked so hard for the past few months and the launch date is set for August 11th, so oh great editing gods, please roll the clip.
Thank you.
Oh, hi.
Hey Bumblebees, are you ready for the biggest top 10 channel yet? Because if you are, you need to go like and subscribe to Bumblebee right now.
You can be the first one to hop on there and make a really gross bee pun, because we've been busy.
So make sure you go check out that channel when it comes out. Tap that like button right now to show some love, and with that out of the way, let's begin.
Coming in at number 10, we have the one, the only Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher was best known for her role as Princess Leia in the Star Wars franchise. If you didn't know that, where have you been? And when you're part of something as big as that, you're bound to be bombarded with hardcore fans. This pressure often gets to actors and usually they become standoffish. Although Carrie Fisher somehow remains sane throughout this surreal experience. While at a book signing, one fan recounted their pleasant interaction with her and said, and I quote, "I once met Carrie Fisher at a book signing. When it was my turn, she kindly said hello, and all I could blurt out was, 'I love you.' She hilariously replied, 'I know,' like in the Star Wars movie." Freaks out. Carrie then told me she liked my Empire Strikes Back t-shirt and I couldn't help but just stand there and cry of happiness. Nicest woman in the galaxy.
Coming number 9, Angelina Jolie. Before a lot of celebrities reach superstar status, they often express gratitude for their fans that they do have. This young fan of Angelina had an incredible experience meeting her while she was filming Girl Interrupted. Great movie. Which is even more of a reason though to give Angie her flowers for this pleasant interaction. Filming can be so stressful that most celebs snap at people that break their focus, although this story just warms my heart. This lucky fan goes on to say, "I met Angelina Jolie when she was filming Girl Interrupted. They were filming across the street from the daycare/after school program that I went to. One day she came over during a break and brought us tons of new toys, games, clothes, and snacks. I will never forget how genuinely kind and warm and lovely she was to all of us. I was a little bit older than most of the other kids, I was 12, and Angelina took the time to talk to me. She asked what I was interested in, and I said that I love reading classic experimental fiction. She came back the next day before she left town to give me a copy of The Sheltering Sky. She wasn't super famous at the time, and she was just the sweetest and funniest person. I still have that book." Maybe see how much that's going for on eBay if you need to, because I bet it'd go for a lot.
Number 8, Antonio Banderas. When it comes to recognizing a child's artwork, usually gets posted on the refrigerator for a bit, and that's about it. However, when this fan of Antonio Banderas met him, Antonio exceeded all of their expectations. Recounting the story of meeting him, she says, and I quote, "I worked as a print vendor with most of the major movie studios, one of which was DreamWorks. As a result of our great relationship on numerous projects, I was invited to bring my kids to a special Shrek 2 screening. It was a great event where the kids came in their pajamas, we were able to have a green breakfast, get lots of goodies, and even meet Antonio Banderas. There was a little boy my youngest son had befriended who was always made fun of, so when this opportunity came up, we invited him to come along. Coolest thing ever. When we met Antonio Banderas, you'd have thought he was the only child there. The little boy brought a picture he had drawn to show Antonio, who ended up loving it, and he told the boy how great it was. He even autographed it. When my son's friend got back to school, everyone thought he was cool and no longer made fun of him, which is just so wholesome."
Coming in number 7, Raven Symone. As a fan of the Family Channel when I was a kid, I definitely watched That's So Raven and would have equally panicked if I actually met Raven Symone. So it's fantastic to know that Raven would have actually taken the time to exceed her fans' expectations. In this story, the fan recounts her interaction with Raven and says, "When I was 8 years old, I was in New York City and went to the Disney store with my parents. I walked upstairs and guess who I saw? Raven Symone. I shyly approached her and asked for a picture and she said, 'Of course, sweetheart. I love your outfit, by the way.' I walked away singing the That's So Raven theme song and she sang it along with me. I mean, how adorable is that?"
Number 6, Britney Spears. There's been so much negativity surrounding Britney Spears and her conservatorship that adding her to this list of celebrities that exceeded a fan's expectations was paramount. This fan that met Britney goes on to say, "I went to a Britney Spears concert in Las Vegas and my friend happened to know someone who worked with Britney, so we got the chance to meet her before the show. When I finally got to see her, she was incredibly shy and quiet, and just before I left, Britney said, "You're really pretty," I could have just died right then and there. It's kind of surprising to hear that she was so shy and quiet considering how confident she is on stage, but that just goes to show we have no idea what's going on behind the scenes.
Coming in number 5, Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis usually appears to be a little bit standoffish. He just seems like a no-nonsense guy. That means approaching him would probably be something that you'd never even consider possible. Although in this scenario, it was quite the opposite. In her story about meeting Bruce, this woman goes on to say, "My fiance and I were out at lunch with family and we were talking about our recent engagement and a man behind us overheard and offered us bazooka gum. The stranger danger alert went off within me because you are literally not supposed to accept candy from strangers, but we timidly took it anyways and thanked him. He came back a while later as he was leaving and showed us the huge bag of bazooka gum that he had and said something along the lines of how he had a big family, so he had to get them a bunch. He was very sweet, he told us to have a great day, and the whole table processed the interaction and came to the realization that it was Bruce Willis who was there for lunch with his brother." What a bad time to realize that it was Bruce Willis. It's like, no, please, wait, come back, I need a photo.
Number 4, Madonna. Madonna has been on top of the world of celebrity for so long that the rumor mill is always turning and looking to cast her in a negative light. We've heard stories about her telling staff at events not to make eye contact with her, but in 1989, this fan had a very different interaction. In this story, they said, "In 1989, teenage me was learning to rollerblade in Central Park. I hadn't mastered stopping yet, so I usually just crashed into something stationary or threw myself onto the ground. Well, I was trying to move out of the path of a biker and fell into 2 joggers, one of whom turned out to be Madonna. She was very sweet. She brushed off my apologies and reminded me to always wear a helmet, kids. Something you can take with you."
Coming in at number 3, Robin Williams. Robin Williams has always been a bit of a comedy idol for me, and I think I would have actually been speechless if I ever had the pleasure of meeting him. Not only did this person get to interact with Robin Williams, but they also had a nice interaction with Kelly Clarkson as well. In the story of meeting these 2 celebrities, they said, "My BFF from college is an actor and she played an assistant on Robin Williams' last show before he died, The Crazy Ones. We're those kind of people where half of our conversations are just movie quotes. My friend was like, I have to be professional. I'm so scared I'm going to quote him to him and I can't do that. Her first day filming with him, he had on bright pink socks, and when she complimented them, he responded with, well, one does want a hint of color, from the birdcage. And Kelly Clarkson was also there doing a cameo as herself, and she told my friend that she looked like Princess Jasmine from Aladdin. Robin overheard the compliment and started singing Friend Like Me. He was a gem to work with, and my friend quickly learned she could quote him to him all she wanted, and he would immediately go into character and play along. He was a sweet, sweet man. Oh, he certainly was.
Okay, number 2, Elliot Page. Sometimes people meet celebrities without knowing who they are. Sometimes they meet them at an event or book signing, but rarely do you hear stories like this next one. Recounting how she met Elliot Page, this fan says, "My cousin and I were shopping at a really cool upscale thrift shop in LA, and I decided it would be a good idea to bring my 4-year-old with me. Obviously, I have fantastic judgment. We were shopping around and I wasn't paying much attention when someone and their dog came in. My daughter went running up to the dog trying to pet it, and the dog just freaked out and totally lost it. It turned out to be Elliot Page and his dog. He profusely apologized, high-fived my kid, and even calmed his dog down and let my daughter pet him. He was super, super nice."
And last but certainly not least in our number 1 spot, Michael Strahan. Our final story with Michael Strahan is incredibly sweet, truly a man that went above and beyond for a diehard fan. While attending a taping of Good Morning America, this fan had one of the best interactions we've ever heard. They go on to say, "I'm a teacher at a rural school. A friend, also a teacher, and I went to New York City for fall break and attended a taping of GMA. At the end of the taping, Michael Strahan came around the audience asking if anyone wanted pictures. We had a student with a disability who loved Michael Strahan, so we asked if we could get a picture of Michael standing, giving a thumbs up for the student. He let us take the picture and even offered to make a video for us to send to the student's mom. It was over 2 minutes long, and he kept telling the student to never give up on his dreams and that he was so proud of him. I still tear up thinking about how awesome he was." I mean, I would tear up too if Michael Strahan just sent me a 2-minute video telling me that I can achieve my dreams. But folks, that has been the top 10 times celebrities exceeded expectations part 2. Thank you so much for watching, and a big shout out to Rachel for joining me on this list today. Don't forget to catch her and Dewey on our newest top 10 channel called BumbleBee that premieres on August 11th. For now, I've been your host, Johnny Rogers.
And I've been Rachel Fisher.
And until next time, stay classy, YouTube. Or at least try. And we'll cut there, bring it back in.
A little box.
I'm gonna move up into this light.
Oh,
Maybe we slide forwards a little bit?
yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Right here.
Okay, cool.
How's that, Chris? Alright. Maybe we need to go over just a touch this way. You wanna just, yeah, sorry, get up. Just scooch it like that. There we go, that
Skateboard.
works.